So here are the 8 money habits that are holding you back and how anyone of any income level can fix them. These money habits can be the difference between you running out of money, going into debt, having to cut all the fun out of your life, versus living the life of your dreams, reaching your goals, and having money working in the background for you. Payday comes around and you feel on top of the world. Your bank account has so much money in it and you're ready to go out for drinks and a big shopping spree. 3 weeks later, all that money has vanished, and your hopes of saving for that dream holiday or putting your money towards a future goal has disappeared. You spent it all. Paying yourself last is the biggest habit that leaves people trapped in the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. You're paying subscriptions, fashion companies, and even that overpriced fancy bar in the center of town before you even think about paying yourself. So how do you escape this? Set up a completely separate savings account away from your main bank account. Create a scheduled payment for 20% of your take-home pay on payday and transfer it from your main bank account into that separate savings account. You are paying yourself this 20% for your near-term plans or your long-term future goals. Now, the concept of paying yourself first is talked about a lot in the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He describes the path of the rich dad where he pays himself first and builds up his wealth, whereas the poor dad pays everyone else and then sees what's left for him at the end of the month. So which path are you going to follow? The rich dad where you have this money saved up and available for you in the future, or the poor dad where you've spent all that money and you need to keep working to earn that next paycheck? Bad money habit number 2, not having an emergency fund. An emergency fund is there in case something happens and you need a quick cash injection in order to get yourself out of the scenario. And these things do happen in life. This could be your car breaking down or needing to quit a toxic job or an unexpected bill or being made redundant. Any of these unforeseen circumstances can put a lot of pressure on you, and having a dedicated pot of money ready for these circumstances can reduce this stress. Bad habit number 3 is not keeping track of your spending. So set a money date night. This is a monthly date night with your finances where you cook yourself a tasty dinner, get yourself a nice drink, and sit down with a pen and paper and your financial statements. Make this something fun and enjoyable so you look forward to it each month. Getting on top of your finances is something to celebrate after all. These monthly money nights are for you to check in on your progress, and they're ultimately what is going to motivate you to keep saving and investing and reaching your goals. Bad habit number 4 is following what the marketing and media tell you to buy. The average person sees 10,000 ads in a day, so it is no wonder that we feel pushed and pulled in every direction. It takes a lot of willpower and energy to beat the marketing and reduce your spending. But one of the keys to this is understanding why you want to make that purchase. Each time you feel compelled to make a purchase, ask yourself why 3 times to go 3 layers deep. And then ask yourself if anything else could cover these wants. Give the marketing time to wear off, try delaying your purchase by 48 hours and see if you still want it then. This will give your rational brain a chance to kick in and avoid those negative purchases that I mentioned in the step earlier. If you're leaving cash sitting in a bank account, you're actually losing money. You think it is safely saved up, but it's actually losing value because of something called inflation. Now, we've all noticed the increase in cost of living recently. We're getting a lot less for our money than we were previously. This increase in the cost of goods happens every year, averaging around 3%. But some years it is a lot more than this. If you put this money in a high yield savings account, you will just about be able to keep up with the rate of inflation. This means your money will be growing at the same rate as your expenses do. However, if you invest your money, you actually have a chance of beating inflation. To learn how this works, you can check out my video on compound interest that I've linked up here. Now, Warren Buffett's advice is to start by investing in index funds which track the performance of some of the top companies in the world, and then just leave your money in there. The money habit number 6 is getting comfortable with bad debt. Now, the opposite to investing is debt, and this can eat up your money much faster than investing can grow it. Credit card companies are more than happy to lend you money. They know if you don't repay it, they can charge you an extremely high interest rate on top of the money you owe. This is how they make money. So if you borrow £100 and forget to repay it, next month they will charge you £120. The following month they will charge you £144, and the month after that £172. This is why so many people find themselves stuck in debt. The amount they owe keeps increasing faster than they can afford to pay it off. And there is now a new scheme on the rise called Buy Now, Pay Later. These are even worse than credit cards because there is no approval process and they get you borrowing money that you don't have at a much earlier age. You'll typically see these on retail websites and non-essential items, and you shouldn't be going into debt buying items that aren't important to you a few months down the line. Not understanding how credit cards work and not thinking about the future amount you'll have to pay off is how people get themselves stuck in debt. So please make sure that you're paying off your credit cards in full every single month and ditch the buy now, pay later schemes. Bad habit number 7 is focusing on quick cash rather than building long-term wealth. There are so many people on the internet trying to persuade you to buy their course to make quick and easy cash. You might have even seen an ad right before this video. And unfortunately, quick and easy cash isn't really a thing, otherwise we'd all be rich. Now, you can increase your wealth by stepping outside of your 9 to 5 and starting a side hustle, or selling a service, or making a product. But these usually require a significant amount of effort and time to get them started. If you do have a business idea that's been going around in your brain, then definitely get started on it. But just don't expect it to go from $0 to $100,000 in the blink of an eye. Appreciate the slow and steady progress, as this will make it much more rewarding in the long term. Waiting too long to invest. It's all well and good saving money, but you need to be investing it to beat inflation and make more money. The longer you put off investing for things like retirement, the more money you will need to contribute further down the line. Time really is your biggest asset, and you're never going to have as much time as you do now. You want to be saving for your short-term goals like going on holiday or buying a car, but investing for anything that is further away than 5 years. If you're keen to get started with investing, but you're not really sure how, then check out this video here to learn just that.